And welcome everyone that's coming in. If you could just put yourself on mute.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get started if that's all good, Ms. Gascon.
Yep.
This meeting is called to order at 6:01 on September 16th. And then Judy, are you present? She's absent currently, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then we have Ms. Gascon present.
Present.
Denise.
Present.
And Bianca.
Present.
Oh, and myself as well. Present. Candace. Thank you. Do we have any guests today?
Yep. So anyone new on the call?
Yes.
All right. Are you able to tell Bianca who?
Yes, I'm gonna just write all of the guests' name down from the chat room. If your name isn't on the chat, then if you could just write it in the chat box, so I can get it.
And if this is your first time on the call, we have some formalities that we'll move through, and then agenda for the day.
Can I just make sure everyone's getting a background like echo?
So we have a question in the chat. Is a guest someone who wishes to address the committee? I don't know the answer to that.
I just asked, so it's actually, oh, go ahead, Finley.
No, I'm not. I'm driving, so I'm not really sure what the question is. But I know in the school site council meeting, there's a part of the agenda where it's open for anyone on the call to address the board. So I'm not sure if that's what the person was referring to.
Yeah, so I think we can leave the guests as is for now, because we do have that portion, as Mr. Finley mentioned. Thank you for your question.
For right now, everybody should, if every guest should introduce themselves, like call their name and then their name should be recorded on the sheet. So they all should unmute and say their name.
My name is Melissa Martinez. I participated last year, so I'm not sure if that's a guest or not, but I'm grateful to be here today. My video is off because I'm driving, but I should be at home shortly.
Thank you for making time.
Absolutely.
You guys can just start unmuting and saying your names.
And the guest will be considered everybody that's not on the committee itself. So we are all guests, including myself.
Okay, I'm here for the first time. Annette Templeton. My daughters are Jillian, Olivia, and Ella Templeton.
Hi, Annette.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Lyons.
Hello, I'm Demetrius Williams.
Hi, I'm Yvette Hayes.
Hi, I'm Paula Kincaid.
Hi, I'm Delfino Murillo.
Was that everyone?
Mr. Finley.
Hi, this is Fabia Bach.
And Kaylin Scott just announced to everyone as well via chat. Thank you, Kaylin. All right. I now move to review and approve the agenda. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
And can I get a second? Motion carries. There we go. Thank you. So now we can move to the agenda. Denise, I think you had it open.
This is the approval for the agenda from last time.
From last time, got it. So all those in favor?
Aye.
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 And so now we are at the point where this is an invitation for the public to address the board. So if there's any questions or concerns, this would be an opportunity. We'll also allow for another during our presentation here in a moment.
So we can ask questions right now?
You can.
How is Black history incorporated into their learning?
Great question. I won't be able to answer that. Ms. Gascon, I think you might be able to take the floor, or maybe Mr. Finley.
Can I ask who asked the question?
Is that Hayes?
I'm sorry. I transitioned back into the car and the audio was connecting, so I missed the question.
The question asked was, how is Black history incorporated into the children's learning on a day-to-day, or maybe, she didn't give a time frame.
What we do as usual, we try to celebrate Black History Month in February. So the school usually puts on a performance by kids, and that's what we did the year before COVID, a performance by kids with a particular message about Black History Month. So that's one of the ways in which we celebrate on an annual basis. So like currently, we are doing something with like the Mexican heritage and the Hispanic heritage. But Black History Month is celebrated the entire month of February.
And then I could also speak towards my child's personal experience. For college days, he's come home very excited to learn about different HBCUs. For many different activities, there does seem to be an emphasis on inclusivity as far as inventors and things like that. Throughout the year, I've been able to experience that myself. So did we answer your question as it relates to, did you have a time frame that you were looking to be addressed?
No, I wasn't really asking how it's celebrated. I was more so asking how they learn about it, like how it's kind of incorporated week to week into like their just regular learning.
Yeah, and I think one of the ways in which you try, which the person just responded, was through the Black colleges. So on Wednesdays, we do college Wednesdays and teaches and teaches I'm sorry, I'm driving and trying to talk at the same time. Teachers incorporate the colleges into their lessons on Wednesdays with their college Wednesdays.
I can try and answer that for second grade. I know what we did last year. I don't know. Did you want a teacher to give an input on this?
I think that would be very helpful. Yeah.
So like for second grade, what we do is like Mr. Finley said, during Black History Month, even though we include HBCU colleges throughout, actually not just in February, but we try and include it actually all throughout the whole year, but we make sure during February, we do include HBCU colleges. But then also what you'll do is during that month, you'll, like for second grade, we may have a read aloud, and during the read aloud, we'll read a book that is written by a Black author that's on the grade level for second grade. And then after that, you may have like a little writing piece. So that if that week we're working on adjectives and adverbs, so we're going to ask you to write something about the story that we just read to you using adjectives and adverbs. So it's sort of like it's an all around about learning and making it inclusive in everything that we do. So maybe in science, we'll learn about some inventors. And then usually for second grade, we have a project due, one major big project that you'll do, that you'll choose somebody, and then you'll write about it. You'll dress up like that person, and then you'll give information about whoever you're learning about. So it really depends on your grade level. I think across Reach, we all do something maybe just a little different, but we try and include it in the curriculum also. And each teacher does it differently.
Yeah, that more so answered my question. So how do we know if that's happening in our child's grade level? Do we have to like just talk to their teacher? Like, how do I know if he's reading books that show him in the books he's reading?
So is your child in upper grade or lower grade?
Fourth grade.
Oh, okay. So approaching middle school. So what you can do is you can ask your teacher and ask them what is it that they actually do for Black History Month. Because I know right now we're doing something for Hispanic Heritage Month.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you for your question. So I forgot how to transition from each segment to the next. Ms. Gascon, maybe you remember, but if not, we're on 5.
Yeah, I think you can just move on.
Okay, reports. So Candace is going to report on the agenda. Right, so we'll open up those slides, but this is actually going to be the entire board. So we're going to do some introductions and all that good stuff. So we're moving on, Bianca, to number 5, and Denise, if you could open up those slides and take control of the screen.
Okay, if Bianca, if you can just stop sharing, and then I'll go ahead. All right, great. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'll start with our agenda and what you guys could expect to hear about today. We're going to go through introductions of the board, our vision statement, restate that, and really just put some color around that. Our meet and greet update, school updates, the fall event that we have planned, as well as leave some time for a parent forum. So questions like you brought up earlier, I'm sorry, I forgot your name, but we can discuss further if you have more questions, and then upcoming meetings and dates. Next slide. So yep, I'm Candace Branch. Don't look like that picture today, but my son is in the 3rd grade in Miss Tolson's class, and I have been at Reach. Well, not me. My son has been at Reach for just 1 year. Prior, he was in the 2nd grade last year. And I can just echo a lot of what Ms. Lyons spoke about earlier as far as Black education being kind of throughout the full year.
Hi, everyone. I'm Denise Woods, Vice President here. My son is in the 2nd grade. He's in Ms. Hassan's class. This is his 2nd year. Last year was his first, and it was all remote. So this is the first time that he's on campus at Reach. And so far, he's having a great time. But I'm just excited to be here and meet other parents and just see how we can share resources and support each other. So thanks all for being here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bianca Brown. I'm the secretary. I actually have 2 kids that go to Reach. I have a son in 2nd grade in Mrs. Hassan's class as well. And I have a daughter in kinder in Mrs. Quash's class. I wanted to be a part of AAPAC to really help foster the community between our African-American students and our African-American parents. We've been at Reach since my son was in kindergarten, so we're hoping for a full year of in-person learning. So that's what's going on with me.
Thank you guys for your introductions, and we can move on. So our vision statement, I'm gonna go ahead and read this and then give you some more information there. The vision of the African American Parent Advisory Council, AAPAC, is to support the academic and social emotional growth of African American students through peer-to-peer engagement and parent leadership and commitment. And what that looks like to us is parents, kids, and the school all engaging more intimately, specifically if you have Black children at the school or African American students. When we talk about it as a board, we really like to think about AAPAC as the Black PTA, if you will, a community where it's a safe space to engage on issues and concerns, successes that are happening within the Black community. And so, we really just want to create that safe space where you've got someone you can call if you have a question. Hopefully we get to the point you can call if you need something, you know what I mean? So that's what AAPAC looks like to us. And, like I said, we'll have an opportunity to engage more with you guys as we move through these slides.
That's me. Hi, everyone. I wasn't on the introduction page, but I am, no, and I didn't want to be, but I'm Mrs. Gascon. I am 1st grade teacher at Reach. This is my 6th year teaching here at Reach. I am the teacher liaison for AAPAC. I'm more behind the scenes this year because we have such an amazing group this year that's leading it. So I'm so happy to take that back seat. But I am here to also answer any questions and give more information. So this page is just kind of like a basic school news page. We all know just giving the basic, school starting at 7:45. Wednesdays are our college t-shirt days and half days. Like someone else mentioned before, those are also the days where, you can have your child show that spirit of wearing an HBCU shirt or representing, one of those Black colleges. Fridays are our house color days, wearing your house shirts. And then upcoming school events, and you guys will receive much more information about this later, but just things to look out for. September 22nd, we're having a math night. September 24th will be our first awards assembly. And like I mentioned, more details will be coming soon about that. And then some things that Judy, which is our administrator, that couldn't be here today, mentioned was just looking out for ELAC testing is going on right now. school picture date. We don't have a date for that, but that will be coming up soon. And that's about it. Me again as well, filling in for Miss Judy. So Miss Judy does like a book club reading project. So she's had a lot of success with Donors Choose and getting lots of books for our school, a huge variety of diverse books so that pretty much every child sees themselves in the books that she has been able to get a hold of. And so she would like, and it can be volunteers, you know, as well as our committee, but she wants to be able to create a committee to oversee the project. What that kind of looks like is being able to assemble book kits that we are envisioning kids will be able to check out and take them home and be able to read these different types of books. Advertising it on Dojo and Facebook, having someone that's helping set that up. A volunteer to maintain the checkout and check-in process of the books and like keeping records of it, managing that. And then also finding a location there at the school for checking out the books. And then also if you are interested in working with her for future fundraising for more books on Donors Choose. So just to keep an eye open for that, if anyone likes that kind of stuff and wants to help out with that committee, that would be great.
Okay, so APAC we're having our first actual event, and we're calling it a pizza partner up along with kind of a book club event. Right now, our date is for October 12th. It would be great to see all of your faces in person and to bring the kids out. It's for all of our age groups. We plan on having dinner there, so you guys won't have to worry about it. Some pizza, and really giving our students a chance to build that community that we're talking about. And we'll have some activities so that they can kind of see what we have in common, because just in our committee, we see that some of our students know each other. So to kind of see that they're all in APAC together. And then also we want to have them get partnered up sort of by grade level and pick some books and be able to kind of get like a little buddy system going where they'll write about the books and be able to send that letter back and forth to really strengthen, once again, the community between all of our students, and so that we can go forward with our other meetings and really bring that together. So that's what our event is coming up in the fall.
And you mentioned that it would be on campus, and the main goal was to create that buddy system, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I didn't mention that it will be on campus. It will be on campus, and I did mention the buddy up though. So
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
all right, so we just wanted to take a minute and talk to everyone who's online to just get your feedback on what this group is going to be and how we can make it most efficient use of your time. And so I know we all have very busy lives. So we want to try to make sure that this group coming together is meeting needs. And so Candace eloquently stated what we have in mind for it, for this group, but we also wanted to get feedback from you all so that we can figure out how is this going to be useful for you. So one of the questions we just wanted to put out to the group tonight is, what is your vision for this group if you have one, and maybe more pointedly, how can we be helpful? How can this group be helpful for you? And then how do you see yourself playing a role in this? Like, where do you feel like you can support this group, whether it's volunteering, whether it's maybe being on the board or coordinating events or coming up with events? There were a couple of ideas that have been mentioned already. So there was one about the elders maybe coming and kind of talking about their experiences. One of the other parents, I believe Yvette, mentioned about, how are we incorporating Black history into the children's curriculum? Like, that's really important. It's important to me. It sounds like it's important to other parents here. So if that's something that we collectively agree on and we believe in, then that's something that maybe we can take to the school administration. It's something that we can take to Dr. Renty and say, we want to make this change, or we want to see more of this. So it's really to come together, all of us get on the same page, and kind of come up with ideas or come up with what we think are priorities for our children this go around this school year. So wanted to hear from others about how they think APAC could be helpful.
Demetrius, did you have any suggestions? That's my brother, so I figured I'd call him out. I did want to share also a little bit about myself. I graduated from an HBCU, so these forums are extremely close to my heart. Your question about how are we incorporating, I think Yvette, you asked that question earlier, how are we incorporating Black history into our day-to-day interactions with our children in the school setting? I buy Black books. I'll be honest, I do. I try to buy them. I don't care what it's about most of the time. I just want my children to be able to see their pictures of themselves and relatable stories. My son's in the 3rd grade, and we just recently bought a book about a barbershop, like hair cut off or something like that. Like, it was a challenge that they're doing within the book. And it's just relatable to him because he goes and gets his haircut. So, you know what I mean? Just something that I've tried to always incorporate. And to Ms. Gascon's point, it's a HBCU shirt or sweater worn by my son most days. So just, from a personal perspective, ways that I've tried to implement those things within the school space. But I think APAC can be even more influential if we can build this community as, with events like we have planned, and, you guys coming out. So again, y'all can come off mute, let us know, does it seem like the route that you want to go? Is this what you want to see from us? Is there something else that you were expecting from APAC?
I would like to know with full certainty that when he's going to school, he's reading at some point books about his history, instead of me having to teach that at home all the time. I also buy him books that have pictures of kids who are Black, or information about the kings and queens of Africa, or all of those different things that he should be learning in school, but they don't teach in school. So I would like to know that it's not only me advocating for that, but just it's not just being celebrated in February, but throughout the year, he's gaining that confidence because he's seeing himself in that light, which is empowering. And then also,
in
I think
different
it would be great.
spaces. Yeah.
In different spaces.
Exactly.
Someone mentioned in science they were teaching them about different inventors. And then also, I think it would maybe be helpful, since we have so many colleges around, to maybe bring in some college students to talk to them or something. I don't know.
I hear you. I think that's definitely something we can look into, ladies, on the board, perhaps in our next event, or maybe even incorporating it into this event. Adding the local university aspect. Is that what I gather, Yvette? Making sure that our kids are exposed to figures just locally that are matriculating and doing those things. I think that's completely feasible. I want to say that I hear you and I agree when it comes to advocating for our children and how that can be somewhat taxing and how it can feel challenging to have to continuously bring up a conversation that we oftentimes feel like, haven't we said this enough? So I just want to say that I definitely hear you there. I think that for me, I've lived in several different states. This is the first time, and I never thought I was going to experience it in California, to be quite frank. I'm from here and I didn't ever get it. This is the first time where I didn't feel uncomfortable being able to go to my son's teachers and at least have that discussion. It was being brought to me first. But, you know, if that's not the same for you, I think this is the space where we can start having those conversations. I think we have a few administrators on the line today that are hearing your thoughts. So thank you for sharing.
To add to that, I think that's actually Yvette's point. I think that's a really good idea for APAC too, that some of our events can be aimed at bringing light to a lot of those Black characters or Black figures in history and in the present. So I think that's something that we as APAC can try and bring forward for our students, especially if that's something that's heavy on your mind and a concern. Because I know that in our house, we read a lot of Black books and fictional and non-fictional characters. So I think that that would be a good future event, and to just kind of sprinkle it into what we are doing when the kids are around, you know?
Mm-hmm. So let's put that as an action, that the books that we do bring for our meeting, for our event, we try to make sure they're as colorful as possible, and we'll make sure that those are something that our children can discuss, you know, like you said, Bianca, both fictional and non-fictional historic moments and whatnot. So we'll definitely make sure to incorporate that. Anyone else? Again, safe space. You know, I don't always have the best words, but you know, we would say just, you know, be open about it so we can at least try to get some things addressed.
We have,
Kaylin is raising her hand.
yeah, Kaylin.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Sorry I'm not on camera, I'm on my phone. But I will say I'm like super excited to be here. I work with like other school districts and I see their APAC group. So I was excited to participate in Reaches. I will say that I work like locally with like a lot of like the Black organizations in Riverside and San Bernardino. And so I think if we could bring some of those to like the school community, would be really cool, because there's a lot of resources. There's a really rich history of like Black icons in Riverside and in San Bernardino. And so not only will like our kids know like, yes, there are great people who are all over the world and all over the country and in history, but there's still great people here right in their backyards that have like really made some great impact in California and even just nationally too. So I think that that would be really cool, like if we're bringing people in to have some local heroes, and I can support in that as well.
That sounds amazing. I think that's a really good idea, especially it being local people. I know my son has been talking about the college being so close by. So I think all of our kids could benefit from knowing that the area that they're in is really rich and that they can grow from just being right here in Riverside. So I think that's really great. And I'm happy that you're able to bring that to the APAC.
Yeah, I know the director of the African programs at UCR, Dr. Myrick. He's like young and cool, and I think he would be super excited to come, and even he has like a ED, so he would come and like do like a little presentation for our kids. And like I said, he runs all of the programs for like the Black students at UCR, so that might be a really cool person to come.
Yes. Bianca, we have her contact information.
I believe we do. Yeah, we do.
Okay, awesome. And then Paula, you have your hand up, please.
I had a, just to answer Mr. Morello's question, I wanted to say, Caitlin, I love your idea too. That's an excellent idea. And for Mr. Morello, I know you were saying about what some suggestions, what we could do to help parents who don't attend the meetings. I was just wondering if there's a way that we could continue with Zoom like this for those that maybe can't, like they're driving home, or there's a way that they can either Zoom in and listen if they can't physically, come, or if we can we could record it so that later on they can go back and listen and take part. I know that might be a way.
I want to make sure I got your, you are replying to what question exactly? I'm sorry, I didn't see that question.
Mr. Morello, he
If
said, oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Yes.
No, that's fine. Let me just, I just say it out loud. I was just saying, how could we get a hold of those parents who don't attend these meetings? And I don't mean like the ones who can't come because of work or other obligations, but those parents that we have in every community that we just, they're not as involved for whatever reason. I have a lot of confidence in all the parents that are here today, but for all of those that we don't reach, how do we get to them? How do we help them out?
And so that was some of the things that we talked through with the purpose of our event in creating that buddy system, where if we can get the kids engaged, they're going to go back to mom and dad and say, look, I want to go to this. What's going on, mom? Are you going to go? Or dad, are you going to be there? That was one of the goals, right? But I think the question is still very relevant, right? Like, that's not the solution. That's not the only solution. So if you have suggestions, we're definitely open to that. But we wanted to create this space at Reach where it's almost like, hey, are you part of AAPAC? Like, have you heard about what they're doing? There's some really cool things going on where the children are starting to buzz about it so that it does reach the parents and it becomes almost mandated that you do it. I bought one of the little green shirts just because I'm like, I got to be just as excited about the house that my son's in, if you know what I mean. So hopefully trying to engage parents in that same space to answer your question, Mr. Delfano.
Yeah, thank you. That's great.
I was going to add too about, the college students. I think it is great to, of course, talk about Black history, talk about, heroes. It's also great to really highlight some of the local talent and some of the local students. So even, I think kids, in elementary school look up to, high school, and they look up to college students. So even if we could get a pipeline of, some of the other schools in the area, Cal State, San Bernardino, of course, UCR, Cal Baptist up the way, like maybe, or even, having like some type of night where we have for the kids at like a basketball game at UCR. Like we have an event where we're inviting, the families out for that. I know a lot of, families enjoy basketball or soccer or softball or whatever the case may be. And maybe we can try to pair up with one of the colleges to have a game night there, just to speak to the point of how do we get more parents out, and maybe doing something like that will catch their attention and be like, oh, okay, I can do, do something like that. The other thing, it was maybe to do some type of tutoring or have some type of program where we have Black students that are either in college or later in high school that might want to come in and help or do some type of activity even with our students. So if we connect with Dr. Myrick, who I also know, if we connect with some students that might want to come in and lead some activities or teach a session on, fraternities and sororities, or talk about, what they're doing in engineering and how that translates later in life, or just, things that our kids can do now to prepare for that. My son is at the Y, and his coach told him something about, practicing every day. And I say that all the time. And he came right, he wanted to practice because his coach, somebody else said it. So I'm wondering if that could also be low-hanging fruit that we can have some of our college age students to come in and help with, or even some high school students as well.
Yeah. I want to also add that I know last year we had a lot of great ideas, but I know it wasn't really implemented because of COVID. So I just want this year to be that year that we're really implementing all these ideas so our kids and our parents can get involved. So that's just what I'm rooting for, because I know we had a lot of different ideas, but none of them really transpired. So that's just what and I'm here to help in any way that I can to get things run up and running so that we can make it happen.
I definitely agree with that. I know that we've been at AAPAC for 2 years and we've had a lot of good ideas and a lot of good conversations come out of our meetings. So this year, I feel like we're already off to a great start. We already have an event on the books, which is very exciting, especially if you've been at AAPAC in the past. So do spread the word. And as it gets closer, we'll put out some calls maybe for some volunteer work, or just showing up is honestly a really big part of it, to show that this event is going to be successful, and so that we can keep having more coming out and really bringing our students together and being able to put these ideas in motion and in work. So I totally agree with what you're saying.
And Mel, is it Mel? Your name is correct there?
Militia. Mel is fine though.
Okay. So let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask straight to you. What do you think about going big? Like, like you said, we've had a lot of little ideas that maybe haven't been able to come to fruition for other reasons, COVID, blah, blah, blah. I'm always worried, like, is it too much? Is it too big? But is that maybe the route that we need to go? When I say go big, I'm thinking debutante ball, like the whole work type of situation where we really get parents bought into AAPAC. I'm in sales, so I'm all about Instagrammable moments, things that really stick with people. Does the people here and outside of just our committee, do you guys feel like, maybe we need to go bigger? What is your take on the events? Do you feel like, I just don't have time after school? All I can do is get my child home and feed them and get ready for bed. Like, we need that feedback too, because I think between myself, Bianca, and Denise, we're ready. We are sitting ready, like, let's get it. What do y'all want to do? But we do need that feedback. So I would love to hear your opinion on that.
I think just I think just at least doing something, maybe other parents will talk about it or see us doing something and get more engaged and more, wanting to participate more, even the kids to see it. And I think even just starting off with something, then just not doing anything. I think once we're starting a motion of getting things set in place, and I truly believe that other people will be more willing to engage and participate, seeing that we're doing something.
It sounded like someone else wanted to speak as well.
Yeah, I was going to just say that I think there's a excellent opportunity to celebrate Black excellence and actually showcase, if we're able to show the kids and, what we're capable of, and it will further inspire them to know what they are capable of doing too. So I do support your approach of doing something grand to have an impact and to have I'm not an Instagram person, but like just a memorable moment that will help to associate, the organization with something spectacular.
Well, thank you, Demetrius.
Yeah, I also agree. I think the opportunity to give them like a certain experience is really great. This is the first time he's been at a school where I'm not like dealing with white supremacy. And that is like really crazy because I don't feel nervous or have anxiety when I walk him to school anymore. So I feel like the fact that he's doing well, and on top of that, like they have their houses, I'm gonna buy a green t-shirt. I'm gonna buy a couple green t-shirts. So if you like have stuff going on as a parent, you're gonna buy it for your kid because they're excited. He's excited. We had a house competition on Friday. Like they're gonna the kids talk about it when they go home. So I think like if you give them the opportunity, like if you ever did a little ball, he's never been in a tuxedo. Like he's never had the opportunity to do that. So like the opportunity to give them a different type of experience that they're maybe not going to get somewhere else.
Wow, Yvette, you almost brought me to tears, girl, talking about you don't have anxiety when you drop your son off. That is a true statement for me as well. So I feel you so much on that one. So yeah, okay. Let's do it, ladies. Bianca, Denise. I think we're gonna do our first event, but we're gonna, bring the heat. And I'm calling out Mel and Yvette and who else was talking to me? Paula. I'm gonna need y'all there, blowing up the balloons or something. I'm gonna need you, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Yeah. Delfano, you got your hand up.
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to say I'm not
I'm
personally I'm not African American, so I don't have a lot of the cultural references and connections that you guys can bring to it.
Mhm.
But rely on me for the grunt work. I'm there to help out with whatever you guys need,
For
setting
sure.
up booths or whatever you guys need. I
Thank
also
you.
want to say that I go big too. I like big events, so I'm definitely down to help with that. But I think also consistency, and I think something small that we could do is maybe have a little, like a 1 minute a week or every other week podcast type thing where we talk quickly about an African American hero from history, and maybe discuss that with a local person who can kind of go into the details of why those events were significant for the African American community, or how we're still feeling the ramifications to this day. That I think just doing a quick little 3 minute a week podcast or something like that, once a week, and I think that would be great for consistency's sake and for exposing, again, like all those students who don't come or whose parents can't attend, for exposing them to what we're doing and what we're bringing to the culture at Reach.
That is such a good point. I definitely want to be more consistent and more present. So, I don't know about a podcast. I don't even like my voice on this thing, but I hear you. And I really like that concept of just we're of that day and age where it's like, if you weren't here today, where were you? What happened? My kid forgets about his backpack every morning. I'm like, bruh, you take it with you.
But it could be a different, it could be a different APAC member every time.
Yeah. Yes.
I nominate Ms. Gascon to go first.
Bianca, you getting this stuff? Okay, thank you. All right. Any others? And when we do, I do also want to say for event planning and all that kind of stuff, we met on like a Saturday last time, the board. So, I'll send that invitation out to you all as well if you ever want to join. Maybe you don't have the time to commit to APAC just full on, but for an event, you can focus in on that. I want to give you that platform to be able to help us with that as well. So I'll make sure to include you guys in that. Paula.
I just wanted to say I'm able to help whenever I can too. The only thing I wish I could attend your the first event, because I know you said it's going to be on a Tuesday, because right now our office, they have us going, we're hybrid now, so I have 3 days a week I work from home, and the other 2 days I go to the office. I work in Santa Ana, so I wouldn't be able to come on that Tuesday for the first event, but I'm going to see if my mom or her father can bring her.
Okay.
first event since I won't be able to be there because due to work. But I'm willing to help whatever I can do to
Okay,
help. Like you said,
greatly
blow
appreciate
balloons,
it.
whatever.
Greatly appreciate it.
Okay.
I have no problem raising my hand for the help. So we'll definitely do that. Um, I'm really sticking to the consistency, you guys, as you know, the president for whatever that means, to make sure we stay consistent in this and really set a name. Wheels are definitely turning. Thank you guys so much. The event date is also tentative. We can move the date that works better as well. Yes, Ms. Gascon, we definitely can move that date. So if Wednesday works better for you, Paula, let us know, shoot us a little message, something like that. We can, we still got some flexibility there. But I believe we chose Tuesday based on the forms that folks filled out on the open house event that we had, or, you know, that
Meet and greet.
the meet and greet. Yeah.
And also, maybe on future dates, we won't always do stuff on the same day of the week. We'll switch it up because I know that a lot of our meet and greet paperwork came back and it was very
All over.
mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it won't always be a Tuesday. It won't always be like a Wednesday or Friday. We'll try and switch it up so that each of our parents get a chance to at least attend one meeting, or maybe it works for someone else in your household, so that the kids will be able to try and catch something this school year. So we'll keep that in mind and make sure that it's important that we try and cover the board with our events. Even though our meetings are all on Thursdays, though, these Zoom meetings and our APAC meetings are always on Thursday.
Yep. And to that point, I think we have one more slide, Denise. I don't know if anyone else had any more questions. No, okay. So Facebook, you guys, this, if you can please friend us there. We have access to Dojo only to announce the meetings, but the follow-up communication, the engagement that's more consistent, that's going to tell you about what's coming up, that's going to remind you, hey, wear your class shirt or your college shirt, that kind of stuff. We really want to be that space. I don't know about y'all, but I forget stuff. And, you know, I would love to see our Black kids come into school prepared for whatever event, you know, if we can help push that part. We're going to do that for you guys. So please sign up for the Facebook page. It looks like the image there, reach AAPAC. You should be able to find it. And we will be doing more communication this year via Facebook. Dojo will only be able to house the official meetings and perhaps even the event dates and things like that, but it won't be as consistent and detailed as our Facebook page will be. So please join us there. And then our next slide. We did questions, so we can go back to the, Bianca, if you'll take over, we can work through the rest of the meeting. Oh, those are the meeting dates. Sorry, if anyone wants to take a snapshot there. September 16th, which is today, November 18th, January 20th, March 17th, and May 19th. So you will see there are less of these Zoom meetings actually happening throughout the year than in previous years, and that's mainly to provide our administrators with more spread out schedules. In between those, we do plan on having more frequent events, right? So you have your meetings, and then I think we are trying to work on a cadence of within the between months to have actual events for the students and the parents to engage. So for example, October, we have the fall event, and then we'll be working on something for December. And it sounds like we might be working on a ball. I ain't trying to say we're gonna do a ball, but we might have a ball. And then, yeah, so Bianca, I think you're gonna have to take over. Oh, y'all done started something, because I need a reason to get dressed. I don't go nowhere. All
I
right.
just wanted to add, like, as a working parent, for some of those events, if they could be on a Saturday, I don't know if that's even possible, but like, it's hard to work and then do things, especially if you don't have help. So just throwing that out there.
Thank you. Consider it done, Miss Yvette. Weekends are best or preferred. Got it. Making a mental note. 6, we're moving on. Approval and consider items, APAC event. Do you all approve the event is what we got to do right now. Candace, motion to approve.
I second that motion.
Motion carries.
Aye.
Aye. I think she did already.
Aye.
So this means it's on the books, y'all. October, we got it going. APAC comments. Do we need to add anything there, Ms. Gascon?
I have all that stuff higher up in
Okay.
the agenda.
Okay.
Perfect.
And then if there's not anything else from the group, this meeting will be adjourned at 6:54.
Actually, I have a quick question. What
Oh, yeah.
exactly is happening in October? Sorry. I know
That's
we're
the-
having an event. Do we know what we're doing yet?
Yes, the fall event will be a book pairing, peer pairing event. Essentially, we're going to pair the students, all the students who come. We can't do it beforehand because we got to see who's going to be there, but we will have books. Like we said, we're going to try to have them focus on with Black characters, fiction and nonfiction, where we will pair students together, hopefully in similar grade levels. We then want one child to take the book. Okay, they will be responsible for the book. They're going to read the book. They then will exchange, once they've completed the book, they will exchange the book with their partner, their peer. They're then going to send a letter, like old school letter in the mail, learn how to write your address, put a stamp on it, all those great things, send it over to your peer. And then our following meeting, there will be a reward for those who complete that particular activity.
Okay, thank you.
That's kind of the quick gist. We will have more details at the event. There will be food served as well. So we got some dinner being served that night. And that's the overall plan. Fall festival within the NPR is the goal.
Okay, thank you.
Any others?
Can you share the Facebook name again? I tried to look it up and I can't find it.
It should be under I'm not controlling the screen. Denise, are you able to pull it up?
I can't because
don't-
Bianca's sharing. So
Oh, Bianca, sorry. Yeah, I don't want to put no one on the spot for pulling it up, but you should be able to search REACH, REACH, AAPAC.
I have it on my screen. I don't know why it's not popping up. Let me see if I can present it. No, it's not popping up. I'll stop. Oh, there we go.
Miss Gascon, we probably can we post it on Dojo as well? Or
Yeah,
maybe not.
Yes, we should be able to.
Okay.
I'll talk to Rachel tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, good. She said she found it.
Oh, okay, awesome. Thank you. All righty, so we will now look to adjourn this meeting at 6:57. Motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn. Or am I seconding that motion?
I think
Yeah.
we got a first and a second.
First.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Peace. Second.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, guys. Bianca, you got that? We at 6:57. I know
Thank
you were
you.
trying to do more. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody, for
All
coming.
right, bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Good to see you, Miss Gascon.
Nice seeing you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.